What are the secret signals of the start of a bull market, and are we on the brink finally for altcoin season? Finally, right? Since March 2024, it has been a lot of ups and downs, not a very clear trend. We're going to be taking a look into those signals today in this video about what could really trigger altcoin season here. And of course, I'm talking about Bitcoin, which is the driver of the crypto markets. If it pumps, especially right now, through its all time highs, that's going to be very good for the altcoins. However, if we're not able to actually break through this all time highs and we actually break down instead, that's going to be terrible for the altcoins here. Okay. So, very important to be paying attention to Bitcoin, especially in the next couple of days here, because this could either mark the top of the market for a while again, or we can actually break through 110K and reclaim this level as and claim this level as support, to use this as a launch pad for the altcoins. Now, we're also going to be talking about a few altcoin setups, which would include XRP, HBAR, Hedera Hashgraph, as well as KTA token, which is Keeta token. See what has gone on in these markets since the last couple of times I've talked about it. Are there any updated price targets, setups that I think you guys should be paying attention to? We're also going to be talking about some major crypto news that could affect the markets. And so let's dive into the news first before going into the charts. First piece of news here, Crypto Potato, Bitcoin price analysis. Will Bitcoin hit 120K in the next few days? I think that's very possible, especially right now. We have actually broken on top of a decent sized pattern on the daily time frame there, okay? And the price target for that is about 120K. If you guys been following me in my channel for the last couple of days, you guys know what I'm talking about. It's a falling wedge pattern on the daily time frame, okay? So I think it's very possible. And what's the significance of this? It's because it will trigger altcoin season when Bitcoin is actually able to get a clean break above 110K. Now, I am long on quite a bit of these altcoins as well as Bitcoin here. So my opinions on this market is still very bullish, but that is just me personally, not financial advice. You got to do your own due diligence. Next piece here is given by Cointelegraph. Bitcoin dices with 110K as U.S. jobs beat takes Fed rate cut off the table. Yeah, that seems to be new data that have just come out today, right? And it definitely decreased the odds of a Fed rate cut for both, meaningfully for July and September. Okay, so yesterday I talked about this, the CME Watch tool, which is a very accurate tool, for predicting a Fed rate cut or whatever they're gonna do, and it takes into consideration of market data. If you guys aren't already using this and you guys pay attention to the Fed meetings, you guys should definitely check this out. Okay, July meeting, since yesterday, yesterday's probability was over 20%, and now it has dropped to about 5%. So that is quite significant. Okay, you definitely want to see a Fed rate cut in September. Okay, now since yesterday's odds for September rate cut was over 90%. And now we're back down to about 70 something percent. It's still a pretty big drop, but I mean, I think it's still very much in favor of a September rate cut. So I think that's why you see the stock market and the and of course Bitcoin kind of shaking it off right now, in my opinion. Right? I don't think it's put a huge damper on the markets because it still looks like we have a the majority of the probability of a September rate cut here. Now, next one's gonna be by Cointelegraph. Okay, why can't Bitcoin price break 112K all-time highs? Bitcoin analyst explains. Of course, it can break. It can. Okay. some of these headlines just got to be a little bit more critical because not all of them are going to make sense, right? I definitely think that 112K is beatable, uh, even in the next few days, right? I think it has a high chance of beating it because we've been retesting it quite a bit. Not the 112K level, but just that 110K level, okay? And I think that 112K level is very much you know, uh, within the range of resistance in that 110K level. And I think if we get a clean break out of 110K, 112K shouldn't be, I mean, it's not going to be hard. All right, so let's go over to the next piece of news. News BTC says, buy Bitcoin before Jackson Hole or regret it forever, says Arthur Hayes. I think Jackson Hole meeting is in, I'm not sure. I'm not sure when that is. I think that's either this month or August. You guys can put it in the comment section below if you guys know it. But that is the Fed meeting, Fed conference, I think. But Arthur Hayes is, I think he's a crypto bull, right? And I do think we're gonna have a pretty good crypto summer, personally. So yeah, I do agree with what he says. I do think that we're probably gonna get some pretty good movement in July. Okay, uh, more higher chance than not, right? I could be wrong. Let's take a look into the next piece here. Today, Q News. iBid bought $3.85 billion in Bitcoin during June 2025 alone. Arkham. Okay, so that's definitely bullish, but I mean, that was in the rear view mirror already, so you can see that who is, actually been buying Bitcoin or accumulating. Okay, it's iBit. Now, I did pull all of that news from TradingView. TradingView is a platform with news, other traders sharing their ideas, and of course, I use it mainly for charts and their indicators. And I've been using it for the past over 5+ years in trading. If you guys are new to trading, you guys definitely want to check out TradingView, okay? Because otherwise you guys are just gonna you guys are trading this market blind, and that is not recommended. I do have an affiliate link in the comments in the description section below. Check it out. If you guys sign up using my link, they have plans for under $20 per month. If you guys sign up using my link, I will earn a commission, and you guys are supporting my channel, and thank you very much. Let's go over here to the charts. Okay, we have ES1 exclamation mark, which is the stock market S&P 500 futures up almost 1%. Okay, so shaking off that jobs beat data. Okay, Bitcoin right now at about just right underneath 110K here. Did test that 110.5K level a couple of hourly candles ago. Okay, now we did still break out of this falling wedge pattern, and it's still valid because we're holding above that breakout right now. Okay, if you guys can see this. Yesterday it was looking like it was a lot. It was going to be a lot stronger breakout yesterday. Okay, however, it did fade, okay, towards the end of the day. So right now, it's very important that Bitcoin keeps above this breakout here. You don't want to see Bitcoin fall back into the pattern. That's going to be very bad, and that's going to be a fake out. Okay, so you definitely want to see Bitcoin continue upwards. We are in a very tight range here. Okay, and how I have charted this is because of this, right? We have a falling wedge pattern breakout. However, if you guys can see that, it is also right underneath that 110K level, that resistance. And why is that resistance so significant? It's because it's a longer term resistance. If we actually zoom out to the weekly time frame here, we have a bigger pattern that Bitcoin is trying to break out of, and that is a cup and handle pattern. Okay, if Bitcoin is actually able to get a clean break above this 110K level, that tells me that it's able to break, stay above that falling wedge breakout there, right, then the price target is going to be about 145K. Okay, so price targets are estimates only, of course. It could be more, it could be less. Now let's take, so very important right now, it's make or break for Bitcoin, which is also make or break for altcoins, at least in the very short term. Now let's go over here to some altcoins here. We're going to be talking about XRP first, see what's going on in this market. All right, XRP trading at about $2.25. And what has gone on with XRP since the last time we've talked about it? Let's come over here to the weekly time frame real quick. All right, weekly time frame for XRP. I'm waiting for a trading view to kind of load here. It's lagging a little bit. So weekly time frame, we can see a falling wedge pattern. It's probably validated on the 3-day time frame with 3 candles touching. But since I'm here on this weekly time frame, price target for XRP is still right underneath $4 for the breakout of this falling wedge pattern, which is still valid. The bears actually got trapped by that head and shoulders pattern. Okay, that you guys can probably see on the daily time frame. When bears get trapped, buying pressure will increase. Does that guarantee that it's gonna, reach its price targets? No, but it does increase buying pressure. Okay, what I'm looking at here is on the daily time frame, a possible cup and handle pattern that could be developing. Okay, but XRP does need to come up to retest $2.35 again to validate this cup and handle pattern that is still hypothetical right now. If XRP is actually able to break out of that cup and handle pattern, quite a bit of resistance above the pattern here as well, including the daily 200, the orange line here. If XRP is actually able to break out, the price target would be about $2, just right underneath $2.80. So that's basically what I'm seeing for XRP. And if it actually reaches that price target, what I would do is, if the price action consolidates, I would chart the pattern there and see if I can get any more clues on if it would continue upwards or if it would probably pull back, right? Let's go over here to HBAR and see what's going on with this coin. Currently trading at about just right underneath 16 cents there. Okay, it's trying to reclaim that daily 21 SMA, which is the blue line here at about 15 cents. You do need I mean, in my opinion, I guess that's pretty much reclaimed. That was a pretty solid candle, right? HBAR here did break out of this falling wedge pattern, which is a pattern you guys should definitely familiarize yourself with because it's probably the most common reversal pattern that is also very effective and simple to spot. Broke out of this falling wedge pattern, which usually breaks to the upside. Price target for HBAR out of the smaller pattern is about 20 cents. Okay, still pretty big movement for HBAR. Now, this is part of a bigger breakout here, which is also a falling wedge pattern as well. That could probably be validated on a smaller time frame, but the price target out of that bigger falling wedge pattern is going to be about 36 cents. Okay, so let's see if HBAR is actually able to hit some of those targets, and we'll come back here to rechart HBAR if it does, and we can see if we can get any more clues on it will likely go up from there or pull back. Let's go over here to KTA, see what's going on in here. All right, KTA. Again, falling wedge pattern. Okay, daily time frame. I told you this was going to be a very common theme. Okay, after an extensive downtrend. reversals are more likely. Daily time frame. KTA broke out of this falling wedge pattern, still valid breakout. Price target is going to be about $1.35. Okay, will it actually get there? There's quite a bit of resistance between now and then. Okay, it broke out of it, has formed another falling wedge pattern. Okay, it's got quite a bit of resistance to get over, which includes the daily 21 SMA, the blue line, daily 50 SMA, which has just appeared at about 80 cents. Formed a smaller falling wedge pattern. Price target for that smaller falling wedge pattern is going to be about just right above 85 cents. There is also bullish divergence playing out right now on the RSI. What is bullish divergence? It's basically on the RSI. You will see reversal signals, which is basically where you have an equal or lower low on the price action chart, but you see an equal or higher low on the RSI, right? Which usually tells you there's going to be a reversal, a bounce, okay, in this case. So that's playing out right now, okay? On the 3-day time frame, a double bottom scenario. Okay, so quite a bit of reversal patterns here for the upside for KTA. Something to be paying attention to. So this is basically what I'm looking at for these markets. Let me know if you guys want to continue seeing any more of these markets. I will bring you guys an update if enough of you guys do. Let me know if you guys want to see any other markets in the comment section below. I'll pick one to do for you guys on a daily basis. That's it for today. Thank you very much for watching. See you on the next one.